One of the things I'm most proud of in the small part that I've played in it here at the department is our clear shift in reviewing the connectivity and technology access when we look at when we do reviews for civil rights questions, right? And so one of the things that we look at, there's a number of factors that we look at. We look at to make sure that schools in poor areas have equitable distribution of quality teachers. We look at income, and is budgets. Are schools, if you have a district that has wealthy schools and schools that are in poor conditions, is budget equitably distributed? One of the things that we also look for is technology equitably distributed. Do schools that are in poor areas of the district have equal bandwidth? Do they have devices that are about the same age, or are they getting all the old devices? Those are questions of equity, and we as a department have a responsibility to be looking at that and do that.
Technology is a civil rights issue?
Technology, when inequitably applied, is a civil rights issue. So if you say in a district you're having only students that have better, more wealthy, the wealthier schools are getting the better technology, and the leftovers are cycling to the poorer schools, that's a problem, and it's not aligned with what we believe in this country, which is that all students deserve equal access and equal opportunity to succeed.
What about the digital divide in how technology whether it's done to them or whether they get to do it?
Yeah, so the digital divide that I'm particularly concerned with is not so much whether or not there are devices in students' hands. That's going to happen. We can accelerate that, and we can help make it happen in the right ways, but students are going to have access to technology eventually. My worry is what happens with it. There's been some interesting studies that have looked at students from lower socioeconomic backgrounds that use the devices as more passive tools, right? Watching videos, playing games that aren't really encouraging creativity and design. And students who have come from more affluent families and backgrounds who are using technologies to invent new things, to create, to imagine, to really empower their learning, to personalize their learning. So that's my worry, is that we need to make sure that there's an equity in how technology is being used, not just that it's there.
Why does that happen?
I don't know all the reasons why and why it doesn't happen. I think we certainly know there are talent issues. You have schools that serve higher areas of poverty that may not have the same level of experience in teachers, and so that's one piece of it. I think in higher socioeconomic families, you tend to have families where the parents are very engaged and involved and shape the use of technology. They help choose what kids spend their time on when they're using technology that may not be in existence when you're talking about students with less engaged families. But it's thinking that just because technology is there equals how technology is being used is not correct, right? Just the presence of technology does not equate to effective use of technology.
So you could have a school in a poor area, a school in a wealthy area, with wonderful tablets, et cetera.
Yep.
And no technical divide, but a huge, pedagogical?
Sure, absolutely. So and it's not just necessarily rich and poor areas. You have some districts and some schools where they've put a prime on making sure they're thinking through how technology is being used, how it's being used to engage and support learning, and other places where it's not. And in those cases where technology is simply provided as a add-on, it's sort of just layered on top of what's already happening with no real change to the system. You don't see much benefit from it. In fact, it could even be a step in the wrong direction.
A step in the wrong direction?
Sure. I mean, if you take technology and use it to accelerate, let me say it this way: technology is an accelerator, right. And if you use it to accelerate ineffective teaching practices, you do the wrong thing faster.
I mean, I use it to accelerate how fast my kids can learn the state capitals.
Or you simply use it to make memorize rote facts faster, or you use it in ways that actually may not even help improve cognitive abilities, right? You may use tools and apps that actually are have an ineffective approach built into them. Right? If that's the type of app, right? Anybody can make an app. If you're not reviewing very carefully and saying, what are these apps? How are we choosing the apps? You can end up, not using the tools or time very effectively. The flip side of that, of course, is if you're very thoughtful about what you want to accelerate with technology, if you're very thoughtful about what tools we want to put in the hands of students, you can greatly accelerate both cognitive knowledge, but also what we sort of call non-cognitive factors, right? Grit and resilience and motivation and engagement, which are also very important.